Right, I'm going to try to explain the theory, my theory, of how I do MasterMind, so that I can help others enjoy this wonderful game. It's a game you can play alone against the computer. You don't need to be playing it against a person. It doesn't actually add anything to it, except that you beat the person, but the computer can score it. You just score each other when you play MasterMind. So you start off that there are there is a code made up of 5 different colours. Well, you can make it so that there can be more than one of each colour, and then it will be harder. But I've set it here in its standard mode that you have to have one of each colour. There's 8 colours, but only 5 holes. And when it's scored, you get a black peg if the correct colour is in the correct place. You get a white peg if the correct colour is in the wrong place. Now, I always do this the same way. I put my first guess in as 2 and 3 like that. So now I know, because we have 2 different colours, we have to have different colours. I know there's a red and I know there's a green. I also know that the green is in one of those first 2 positions. So that's a lot of information, right? And I know that the red is in one of those 3 positions. That's a lot of information just from my first guess. So now I move on and I do the same thing with the second batch. No reason not to do it a second time ever. Now we know that one of those oranges is correct and one of those blues is correct. And now we're just going to move on one more time and do the yellows and the pinks, the ice cream colours. And one of those is right. So we don't need to do black and white because we've got our 5 colours. Nothing would come up if we put black and white in the next box. So let's have a look what we could have. Well, let's say that the 50-50 chance that that orange is correct, okay? There's a 33% chance that that's correct. So take that away for a second. There's higher chances elsewhere. There's a 50-50 chance that that green one is. So there's actually a 50-50 chance that both of those are correct. Yeah, because they can only be that or the other, or swapped around from each other. There's only 2 ways that those 2 pieces can exist. So we're still at a 50-50 chance of being correct there, with only 3 colours left to go. We know that there's a pink one in one of these 3. We know that there's a blue one in one of these 3. And we know finally that there's a red one. So there's just 2 that are in the wrong place. And we know, well, we don't know that these 2 are correct, actually. They could be swapped around from where they are. So we can start by trying those. We might get it in 5. We might be lucky. You never know. There we are. We got it in 5. So that's the theory of how you narrow it down. You're cutting and cutting and cutting. So you start with only 2 and you cut it down. That's how we do MasterMind. I'll try and do another one. This one might take longer. But 5 is always my target, is 5. I don't think I've ever got less than 5, except by silly chances. Okay, so one of the reds and one of the greens is correct. Let's carry on. Put those in our back pocket and go to the next one. Nothing there. So, when we get to the ice creams here, and it's going to be either a white or a black. And whichever we put in there will tell us that it is that one or the other one. So once again, red 50-50, green 30%, pink 50-50 chance, yeah, and yellow 30%, and it's a white or a black. So if there's only 4 pegs come up, yeah, so we know it's a black, not a white. Okay, now there was only one. I'm just going to pause this for a minute. My kettle's boiling. I'll come back in just a second. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, the black. We know that the black is the missing one, not the white. I can't remember what I was about on the brink of saying something about there's only one. But anyway, yes, there's only one that's in the correct place there. So it can't be the red, because if it were the red, then the pink would also have to be in the correct place. So that it can't be one of those two that's in the correct place. So they must be wrong. There's the logic. You see, this is the logic of MasterMind. It can't be the white one that's the correct one in the correct place because we know that should be black. So either yellow or green is in the correct place. So I'm just going to go with a guess with yellow. Then we're going to say that green was wrong, so that has to be the black one. Okay, so let's put them back in again as they were. And so it's not yellow, it's green in that case. Has to be green, which means that the black and the yellow are like that. So we did it in 6 that time, so a bit more difficult. You know, our second one was sort of a wasted guess. So let's do a 1/3 final time and see if we can get it in 5 again. I mean, it could take 12. It can do. It can be really hard sometimes. But the aim is always to try and get it in 5. Maybe hard this time because that first clue was completely wasted. Well, it's not wasted, but... So, okay, so one of those is the right one in the right place. One of those is the right one in the wrong place. But we are way behind now because of that first guess. However, we got lucky here. So let's put those like that. And we're going to have the... well, they can't be like that because if they were like that... Oh, yes, they could. Yes, they could. But like that or with them the other way around. There can't be anything in the next one. And then it will be either white or black for the remaining one. So we're going to try with white, of course. Perfectly logical way to start. And we've got all 5 colours, you see, within 4. And we may have enough information to get quite close to the answer. So, still only got one correct one in the correct place. It's most likely to either be the yellow or the pink, because there's 2 guesses there that were black to start with, whereas the blue one is only it's only one correct of one. So I'm going to say let's just say it's the yellow, which means that, no, actually, we're going to say it's the pink, because if we say it's the pink, then the yellow only has one other place it can go. So that means that if we're right, there's much more to gain. It means we've gained both of them being right instantly. So that is a good reason to go for that, to make it be the pink that was correct. Now then, we've got black rather than white. And obviously the blue and the orange have to go in different places. So the only way they can go and still makes sense with the clue number 2 is if we just swap them round. And then it's black. So that fits with all the information. Oh, it's not black. What have I got? What have I done wrong? Oh no, it was white. It was white, wasn't it? Not black. Sorry. Okay, but nevertheless, something funny going on there. All of those are wrong, so that pink wasn't right. Could be that the yellow was correct there. It's looking like the yellow was correct there. And pink's going to have to come along. Let's put the white somewhere different for a minute. And then we've got blue and orange. Okay, so blue and orange. Can we do that? No, we can't, because now there's too many correct answers on number 4. So maybe yellow. No, that won't make any difference at all. Let's go back to blue here. Correct on that one. Okay, that could work. And then yellow would kind of have to be there because you've got to get 2 correct answers on that number 3 there. Pink could go in the middle. No, pink can't go in the middle. Pink can't go there either. Yellow would have to go there in that case. And then white. Now does that fit with everything else? It gives us our one right answer there. It gives us our two right answers there. Yes, that fits with all the information. So I have a very high probability that we've got this one in 6, which is not bad since we started out with nothing at the beginning. But I may be wrong, but we're going to give it a go. Okay, so there's 3 still wrong. Now that's quite serious. Could it be that the yellow and the pink is correct? Let's start with saying, is the yellow and the pink correct? If so, then the orange would have to be there, and the blue would have to be there, but then our white would be right, and it's not. Blue can't be there unless orange is there. Yeah, we haven't yet tried that idea. So the blue and the orange must be down the other end, possibly. What happens if we do that? Now how many line up? We don't have the 2 that we need on the row below. So that's a problem. So I'm not sure that blue and orange can go there. Because we can't get the 2 from the row below. We can't get 2 correct answers in addition. So blue and orange cannot be like that. Or like that. They can't be. They simply can't be, because then we can't get the 2 correct answers for the row below, for row number 6. So blue and orange must be over on the blue side, which means that it was the blue that was the right answer. But unfortunately we don't know which blue it was. It's more likely to have been this one, because there's 2 correct answers on our, where we've got the blue in that position. Doesn't mean the orange was the other correct answer. The other most likely correct answer, I think, is the pink, looking at number 3. But there's our 2. We've now got our 2. And we can't do that, because now we've got the orange goes there, and we've got 3 correct answers again. So the pink can't have been there. Pink could have been there, and orange there. But if that's the case, then yellow has to go there and white has to go there. Now, does that fit? It doesn't. So, But we've said blue has to be correct. What if it's in the middle? And then orange would then have to be there because of number 4. Pink would have to be there. White would have to be there. No, we still can't do it. Okay, so blue can't be in the middle. Blue must be there then, surely. Blue goes there. If blue is correct there, let's try it like this. Blue, orange, pink. So there's 1 from the one below, but no, because now the yellow. Okay, so yellow and white cannot be correct. Yellow and white can't be right. Or can they? Let's start with the idea that they are right, just to see what happens. That means that yellow was correct all along. But now all 3 have to be wrong from the row below that we're looking at there. So we'd have to shift them all along somehow to different positions, like that, say. Try that one out. Now, does that match? Oh, actually, that does match. I think that matches. That seems to tally with all the information we've got. So let's try that. There we are. So we did it in 7, the third and final time. Really hard, that one. Really hard. But I hope that's given a bit of insight into how to play MasterMind.